Look deep inside yourself for a moment. Picture the person you most admire, the strength, the discipline, the confidence, the character. Now here's the truth most people never hear. You don't admire them because they are unreachable. You admire them because deep down, that person is you, waiting to be unleashed. The only question is, will you rise to meet the version of yourself you were born to become, my friends? Before any building rises into the sky, before any invention touches the hands of mankind, before any achievement ever enters the world, it first exists in the mind. The seed of greatness is planted in the imagination, and so too must you begin with a vision. To become the person you admire, you must first see them clearly in your own mind. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself not as you are today, but as you could be, the version of you that lives free from hesitation, that walks with confidence, that speaks with clarity and purpose, that faces life's challenges with courage and determination. This image is not fantasy. It is the blueprint of your becoming. Every man and woman who has shaped the course of history carried within them a mental picture of who they must be. That picture guided their actions, governed their choices, and fueled their persistence when the road grew hard. Without vision, they would have wandered aimlessly. With vision, they marched directly toward their destiny. And so I say to you, your life will rise only to the height of the vision you dare to create for yourself. Do not settle for vague wishes. Wishes are like fog. They drift, they scatter, they fade away with the morning sun. What you require is a vision so definite, so alive in your mind, that it stirs you from bed in the morning and keeps you awake at night with anticipation. See yourself as you long to be. See the character, the discipline, the success, the respect, the health, the abundance. Let that image be etched into your very soul. Now here is where many stumble. They believe vision is daydreaming. They think it is nothing more than a pleasant escape. But the truth is, the imagination is the workshop of the mind. It is where every transformation begins. What you picture clearly, what you hold firmly, what you believe deeply, inevitably takes form in the world around you. The laws of life do not discriminate. They will return to you precisely what you dare to see within. Perhaps you say, but I cannot see that version of myself clearly. Then I tell you this, borrow inspiration. Look at the qualities in those you admire, courage, persistence, kindness, discipline, and gather them like a craftsman gathers tools. Piece them together into a single image until you recognize, yes, that is me. For you do not admire others by accident. You admire in them the very qualities your own soul longs to express. Admiration is nothing less than a mirror reflecting your potential back to you. Once your vision is formed, carry it with you always. Write it down if you must. Speak it aloud when doubts creep in. Stand in front of the mirror and remind yourself of the person you are becoming. In times of struggle, return to this image as a sailor returns to the stars for guidance. Let it pull you forward when the world attempts to drag you back. And understand this, the vision you hold will feel larger than you at first. That is good. If it does not intimidate you, it is not worthy of you. Growth demands a target beyond your present reach. You are not asked to know every step in advance. You are asked only to hold the image, believe in its reality, and walk faithfully toward it, one day, one action, one choice at a time. Each step, no matter how small, brings you nearer to the person you admire. Guard your vision with vigilance. The world will attempt to shrink it. Voices of doubt, fear, and limitation will surround you. They will tell you it cannot be done, that you are foolish to even dream of it. Do not hand them your power. The vision belongs to you alone. Protect it as you would protect your most precious treasure. When you hold fast to this picture, something remarkable happens. Your habits begin to align with it. Your decisions begin to reflect it. Your energy begins to rise to meet it. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the world responds, opportunities arrive. People appear, circumstances shift. The admired self that once lived only in your imagination steps forth into reality. So I leave you with this. Everything you long to become already exists within you, waiting only for permission to emerge. Grant yourself that permission by envisioning the highest version of yourself with clarity, conviction, and courage. Then walk forward, for the path to your admired self has already begun. If vision is the seed, then habits are the soil in which it must be planted. You cannot expect the image of your higher self to bloom if your daily actions betray it. Every habit you hold today is either building the bridge toward the person you admire, or it is quietly constructing the walls that keep you from becoming that person. And so the question is not whether you have habits. You do. The question is whether they serve the life you are destined for, or whether they keep you chained to the life you wish to leave behind. The admired version of yourself, the one who walks with strength, who speaks with certainty, who commands respect, does not appear by accident. That version is born from repetition, from discipline, from choices made in the quiet hours when no one else is watching. Greatness is not built in the spotlight. It is built in the shadows of daily practice. Look closely at the person you long to be and ask, how would they rise in the morning? How would they spend their hours? How would they treat their body, their mind, their work, their relationships? Then begin to align your habits accordingly. Habits may seem small, but do not be deceived. They are the invisible architects of destiny. A single choice repeated over days becomes a pattern. A pattern becomes a routine. A routine becomes character, and character becomes fate. If you wish to alter your future, you must alter your habits, for they are the levers that move the course of life. Too many live with a contradiction. They dream of greatness while practicing mediocrity. They picture wealth while spending recklessly. They imagine health while indulging carelessly. They long for discipline while yielding to distract. But understand this truth. You cannot rise above the level of your habits. No vision, no matter how grand, will materialize if your daily conduct denies it. The admired self within you demands consistency. It requires that your actions, even the smallest ones, harmonize with the image you hold. Perhaps you think habits are difficult to change. Indeed, they are. But difficulty is not impossibility. The same power that built your present habits can build new ones. The same energy that once reinforced weakness can now be redirected to strengthen you. The key is not to change everything at once. Start small. Begin with one discipline. Wake earlier, guard your words, focus your attention, and repeat it until it becomes as natural as breathing. Then add another and another. Slowly, the old self will wither, and the admired self will take root. Let me remind you, habits are formed not only by what you do, but also by what you allow. The time you waste, the company you keep, the thoughts you entertain, all of these mold your character. Guard them carefully. If your surroundings tempt you into weakness, change your surroundings. If your companions laugh at your discipline, find new companions. If your mind drifts into doubt, replace it with faith. Every environment feeds a habit. Choose one that feeds the habits of your higher self. And never forget the power of persistence. A single missed day does not break you, just as a single good day does not transform you. What matters is the pattern, the direction, the steady march forward. When you stumble, rise again. When you falter, correct yourself quickly. Habits are not built in perfection. They are built in perseverance. The admired self is not flawless. It is faithful. As your habits align with your vision, something extraordinary happens. You begin to feel integrity within yourself. The war between who you wish to be and who you are today grows quieter. Confidence rises not because you have reached the final destination, but because you are finally walking in the same direction as your dream, and others will see it too. They will sense the discipline in your steps, the clarity in your choices, the strength in your presence. You will not need to announce your transformation. It will speak for itself. So remember this, vision is the spark, but habit is the fire. If you wish to become the person you admire, let your daily actions reflect that person now. Align your routines, your disciplines, and your choices with the higher self you have envisioned. For it is in the repetition of right action that the admired self emerges into reality. The greatness you see around you awakens the greatness that has been within you all along. So choose your mirrors wisely. Let every voice, every face, every influence around you be a reflection of the person you are becoming. For the company you keep today will determine the character you carry tomorrow. Within every man and woman lives a battle, a constant struggle between the higher self that longs to rise and the weaker self that whispers of comfort, fear, and surrender. This battle does not take place once in a lifetime. It takes place daily, sometimes hourly, in the small decisions of life. And the outcome of this battle determines the kind of person you become. You cannot admire yourself if you have yielded to weakness at every turn. To become the person you truly respect, you must learn to conquer weakness with willpower. Weakness shows itself in many forms. It comes as the temptation to procrastinate when you know action is required. It appears as the desire for ease when you know discipline is demanded. It disguises itself as fear, convincing you that the risk is too great, that you are too small, that failure is certain. It creeps in as doubt, eroding your confidence and stealing your courage. Left unchallenged, weakness becomes a master, and you its servant. But within you lies a power stronger than weakness, stronger than fear, stronger than any doubt. The power of will. Willpower is the unseen muscle of the soul. Just as physical muscles grow stronger with use, so too does the will. Each time you resist the pull of weakness and choose strength instead, your willpower expands. Each time you refuse to bow to excuses and take the harder road of discipline, your willpower fortifies. And as your willpower grows, you discover that you can conquer not only small weaknesses, but even the greatest obstacles in your path. Consider the men and women you most admire. Do you think they never felt fear, never faced temptation, never wrestled with doubt? Of course they did, but they refused to let weakness dictate their destiny. They leaned upon their will and pressed forward when every impulse told them to retreat. That is why they stand as examples, and that is why you admire them. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not the absence of weakness, but the mastery of will. Do not expect weakness to vanish. It will follow you throughout life. But you must learn to meet it with strength each time it appears. When the temptation to delay strikes, willpower answers, I act now. When fear whispers, you cannot, willpower replies, you watch me. When doubt asks, what if you fail? Willpower answers, and I shall rise again. In this way, willpower becomes a shield and a sword. It defends you from defeat and clears the way to victory. The mistake many make is believing that willpower must be summoned only in great moments. But willpower is most often exercised in the small choices. Rising from bed when you would rather sleep, finishing the task when distraction calls, holding your tongue when anger burns. Each small victory over weakness prepares you for the larger battle. Do not wait for the extraordinary challenge to appear before you strengthen your will. Begin today in the ordinary moments, and you will be ready when life tests you with the extraordinary. And know this, willpower is not a harsh master, though at first it may feel like one. At first it demands effort, it demands sacrifice, but soon it becomes your ally. For each time you conquer weakness, you feel a surge of pride, a quiet confidence, a sense of integrity. You begin to trust yourself. And there is no greater power than to believe that you can rely upon your own word, your own strength, your own resolve. That trust in yourself is the foundation of self-respect. There will be days when weakness wins a battle. Do not despair. The war is not lost. What matters is not perfection, but persistence. Each time you fall, rise again. Each time you stumble, step forward once more. Willpower is not about never failing. It is about never surrendering. In the end, the person you admire most is not the one who never knew weakness, but the one who faced it, fought it, and conquered it. That person already lives within you, waiting for the strength of your will to set them free. The greatest secret to transformation lies in this simple truth. You become who you consistently act as. Most people wait until conditions change before they decide to change themselves. They say, oh, when I have the success, I will carry myself with confidence. When I have the wealth, I will live with discipline. When I have the recognition, I will walk with authority. But that is not how life works. You do not wait for the crown to act like a king. You act like a king, and the crown finds its way to you. If you want to become the person you admire, you must begin to live today as if you already are that person. Think of the image you hold of your higher self, the person you truly respect. How would they walk into a room? How would they speak to others? How would they manage their time, their energy, their resources? Would they waste hours in doubt and hesitation? Or would they move with purpose? Would they complain about difficulties? Or would they rise to meet them with determination? That version of you is not some faraway dream. It is a blueprint. And the fastest way to bring it into reality is to embody it now in the smallest decisions of this very day. When you carry yourself as if you already are the person you long to become, something extraordinary happens. Your mind begins to adjust, your habits begin to align, and the world begins to respond. You are no longer waiting for confidence, you are practicing it. You are no longer hoping for discipline, you are living it. You are no longer imagining respect, you are commanding it through your actions. The admired version of yourself does not suddenly appear in the future. It grows into existence through the choices you make in the present. This is not about pretending or playing a false role. It is about claiming the qualities that are already within you. Confidence, strength, discipline, integrity, these are not borrowed from someone else. They are your own, waiting to be expressed. Every time you act as if you already possess them, you awaken them. The more you awaken them, the stronger they grow until one day you no longer need to imagine being the person you admire. You simply are. Of course, this path demands courage. It feels easier to wait until circumstances give you permission to change. But circumstances are followers, not leaders. Life will not hand you respect until you first respect yourself. It will not offer you opportunity until you first prove yourself ready. It will not open doors until you first walk as one who belongs on the other side. The moment you decide to live as your higher self today, you give life no choice but to reflect that decision back to you. Do not underestimate the power of small actions in this process. The admired version of yourself is not built only in grand gestures. It is built in the way you greet each morning, the way you handle setbacks, the way you honor your commitments, the way you treat others when no one is watching. Each act is a vote for the person you are becoming. With every choice, you either cast a vote for the weaker self or for the admired self. And the balance of these votes, repeated day after day, determines who ultimately takes charge of your life. There will be days when you feel like you were only pretending, when the weight of your current reality seems to mock the vision you hold. But remember, every great transformation begins as an act of faith. The seed does not look like the tree, yet it contains the tree. The first step on a long road does not resemble the destination, yet it is the only way to arrive. What may feel like pretending is in truth the practice of becoming. And the beauty of this practice is that it compounds. Each day you live as your admired self, the easier it becomes to continue. Confidence grows. Discipline strengthens. Integrity deepens. What once required conscious effort becomes natural. And what once felt like a dream becomes reality. You no longer wait to admire yourself. You embody that admiration in the life you are living right now. So begin today. Do not wait for tomorrow will mirror what you do today. Walk, speak, decide, and act as if you already are the person you most admire. In time, you will find that the life you once imagined has become the life you are truly living. My friends, the journey to becoming the person you admire is not a mystery, nor is it reserved for the few. It is a path laid before each of us, waiting for the courage of our steps. You have seen that it begins with vision, daring to imagine your highest self with clarity. You have learned that it demands discipline, aligning your habits to honor that vision each day. You understand now that your environment matters, that the mirrors you surround yourself with reflect and shape who you are becoming. You know that weakness will appear, but willpower, faithfully exercised, can conquer. And finally, you see that the greatest key is to live today as though you already are that person, for in doing so, you call that future self into the present moment. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not wait for permission. The person you admire is not far away. It is already within you, waiting for action, waiting for decision, waiting for faith. Rise each day and walk in the direction of your vision. Shape your character with disciplined habits. Keep company with greatness. Stand strong in the face of weakness. And live each moment as though the transformation is already complete. For when you do, you will look into the mirror one day and see not just who you are, but who you were always meant to be. And that, my friends, is the greatest victory of all.